Welcome to day 20 of the Whiskey Advent Calendar, and if you have not gotten your Christmas shopping done, the clock's ticking, my friends. The clock's ticking. I am really excited about this one because, well, I'm not sure how to explain it. So, this bottle, just from the name and the description and the things that are in it, this is the kind of thing that I was looking forward to with a mystery calendar. And what I mean is, it hits my personal preferences, which is it's an island whiskey. And by the way, this is from Single Cask Nation. This is Stones of Stens, Orkney. So Orkney means there's only really there's only two whiskey distilleries on Orkney. It's Scapa and Highland Park. And this is 18 years old, and it's a refill sherry cask. Now, Scapa, at one point in its history and periodically, they've used sherry casks. But Scapa is pretty famous for an unpeated malt that is mostly or exclusively bourbon cask. If you're in Orkney Islands, which is the northernmost islands in Scotland minus Shetland, and you have a sherry cask finish, the odds are you're drinking Highland Park, right? And I like Highland Park a lot. Now, this is a really lightly colored whiskey for what I consider to be a sherry cask finished 18-year-old Scotch. And it's a single malt. It's ringing in at 54.9%. Single Cask Nation is one of those companies that I really love their artwork. It reminds me of that boutique whiskey company. There's a lot of cool creativity and artwork in Scottish whiskeys. Compass Box is one of them. Stranger and Stranger is the company that does Compass Box, and I think they're just geniuses at marketing, advertising, and branding. We were hoping to use them for our distillery, just couldn't afford them. It's a thing. They were expensive. This is a musty sherry cask whiskey right out of the gates. And this is what I like about this. This is the fact that it's an older, an exclusive, and an island whiskey, and this is ticking off every single box of everything I hoped I would get in a Whiskey Advent calendar, and there's a lot of it. Ironically, this is as perfumey as some of the Speyside whiskeys that I tried. If I was smelling this and I had no warning of where it came from, I would likely have classified this as a Speyside whiskey. I would have been very wrong, but I would have headed that direction in my brain. I would not have said, oh, this is obviously an island. It's so fruity. Now, there's a lot of phenols and phenols. There's a lot of more medicinal, less fruit notes. But around it is that sherry cask, and you really can't get it. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's so good. There it is. So on the taste is where all of the brine and the figs and the sherry cask finish, it arrives on the taste. It's not very present on the nose. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Now, I think Highland Park is a really great distillery. And I've never visited. I've never been that far north in Scotland. I've got friends who've been there multiple times. And they like to name their whiskeys after things that happen to be important parts of the Whiskey Tribe channel. But I have not... and I understand that Highland Park gets a lot of for their current obsession with releasing no age statement releases. But, and I get it. There's a lot of people that think that no age statements are a money grab. And I think that, so Niels Bohr, who's a Nobel winning physicist, said, and I'm butchering the quote, but the rough gist of the quote is, the opposite of a fact is a falsehood, but the opposite of a profound truth is almost always another profound truth. I think that's true in life. I think that in life, almost always, something that is profoundly, powerfully true is contrasted with an opposite thing that is also profoundly true. And I think the magic in life is not to pick one and demonize the other. It's to hold on to the tension and electricity that exists between two opposite and conflicting profound truths. Right? Now, when a distillery releases no-age statement whiskeys in an era where whiskey is unbelievably popular, are they looking to make money? Of course they are! They're a business, you asshats. And then by you, I mean people who bitch about no-age statements. It's like you've never run a f***ing business. You have to make money. You need to move when people are purchasing. If someone loves your brand, you need to give them things to promote the brand and to reward their curiosity, right? Now, simultaneously, does it matter that you are obsessed with craft and taste and won't release something until it's ready? Yes, of course, absolutely. Without the artists, there would be no glorious single malt revolution, right? So, with Highland Park, I think both of these things is true. Are there things where you're like, look, you're trying to release some special editions because you, why pass up on the opportunity to fund the distillery off of the back of all these barrels you have sitting around? Yes, absolutely do that. You take that money and you put it into expressions of things that you really give a shit about, things that you think, oh, this I'm excited to release and create, right? And you never know which one is which, but I've got no problem with no age statement at all. And I'm excited to get to try, and I could be wrong, this might not be Highland Park, but I'm excited to try anything coming from a Scottish distillery at 18 years old. Think of the patience. What were you doing 18 years ago? 18 years, right? I would have been just moving to California to join a band and for the first time really getting into life on the road as a musician. And it was around that time that they put this whiskey into a barrel. And it sat there for everything that's happened to me in the last 18 years, and now I get to try it. Just think about that. That is amazing. And that's something you don't get from very many beverage categories. And I think it's really cool. I am still getting that in the nose, woody, slightly musty, a little bit sweet, candied note. Now that it's sat with a little bit of water, it rounded it down. So it's very wood heavy, which surprises me. It's kind of oak, spicy, deep, rich, woody notes. And I didn't really see that coming, but it's working for it. I preferred it without the water. But I think either way, if you like a more complex scotch, man, this is just gonna hit dead center of the target for you. So, till tomorrow, may your crazy stay this side of legal and may you return before we have time to miss you. Cheers.